Shamath, I don't know if I caught it there in the update. Did Matthew Judon get cut today?
He did, yes.
He did, by the Dolphins.
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk about that here for a second, but good to see you last night at the party.
Absolutely.
Was it weird being there and not being able to drink?
Yeah, when you're underage, there's nothing you can do, so.
You know what's funny is you are young and you look even younger.
Yeah, I'm upset that I can't grow a beard. The day that I grow a beard will be the greatest day of my life.
You're perfect for like the weekend anchors at Channel 4 and Channel 7. They look like they're 16 years old.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, it'll
Anthony, and I forget the
it'll
name
be
of the
good
other
in
guy.
10 years, but at 25, it's really not fun to look like you're 17 or 18.
How often do you get carded?
Pretty fair amount, yeah. I think a lot of people think I'm like 20, 21. They're like, who's this kid trying to sneak by?
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Works.
Your update kid is really young looking. So. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Judon, I mean, look, adding to the pass rush is something that has been somewhat of a hot topic at times here in Detroit. Do you have any interest in Matthew Judon?
Yeah, bring him in. What the hell? They can't do worse at that position, can they?
Well, they probably can, but I would say...
Yeah, if they sign me.
Do you know how many sacks he has this year?
Probably not very many, or else they wouldn't have let him go.
He's got the same amount you do.
Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't have one quarterback sack this year. He started the game on Monday night for the Dolphins. He played in 23 of 66 defensive snaps. He finished with one tackle.
One more than me.
Yeah. His TFL numbers, because I don't know if there's anything as underrated as a tackle for loss, because it's basically the same thing as a quarterback sack. Why am I not seeing TFLs here on ESPN's website? It was weird. I don't know what happened to. How many TFLs does the man have this year? I guess they stopped using TFLs as a statistic. Boy, it is underrated if they're not even using it. I mean, there's something to be said for it can't hurt, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, you just, sure, it doesn't matter if he's done nothing. It's can he be better than what you have in-house? Can he be better than the last guy on your roster at the position? Could he produce here? So this would be a classic take a flyer on a guy who's done very little this year.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You bring him in and work him out, maybe, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's in the middle of the summer when there was a lot of discussion about going after big name edge rushers. I sat down and did a bit of an analysis of what happens when the edge rusher production starts to decline, and a lot of the greats, it rapidly starts to decline at the age of 30. And Judon is 32, and in the last few years, he's gone from 15 and a half sacks 4 years ago to 4 3 years ago to 5. Well, wait, 15 and a half 3 years ago, 4 2 years ago, 5.5 last year, and none this year. Now, given his last year in New England, he had 4 quarterback sacks in 4 games before he got hurt.
Right.
And when he came back, 17 games in Atlanta, 5.5 quarterback sacks. So he was, but I mean, that's part of it, right? You get hurt, you don't recover, you lose a step. And so it's probably, if it doesn't hurt anything, if you don't mind cutting the last guy on the roster, so be it. But it seems like it would be.
Or at least bring him in to work him out to see what he has.
Yeah.
Talk to him a little bit. After all, he is a West Bloomfield Laker.
Grand Valley State product.
He's all Lakers.
I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Then he played in Baltimore.
The Ravens.
Okay. Look, I know there's a lot of passionate Michigan and Michigan State fans out there that are excited about their basketball teams. Michigan State blew out Toledo last night. The Spartans shot it well. They were good early down low, and then from the perimeter, Kurt Tang went 4 for 5 from 3, which is, you take that every night, obviously, but you want him to be able to fill it up from the perimeter. They defended well. The Spartans off to a very good start, and Michigan is 10-0, coming off a survival game at Maryland, where Maryland was white hot for about the first 30 minutes of that game, and had Michigan down in the second half, and the Wolverines ended up winning by 18 when it was all said and done. What we want to ask you today, Wolverine and Spartan fans, of your team, whatever your team is, if you're a Michigan fan or a Michigan State fan, We compartmentalize and talk to you specifically. What do you like most about this year's version of your team? And what are your early worries? What are your early worries? 248-539-9797. Phone calls and texts. What do you like most about this year's version of your team, and what are your early worries? Do you have them for both teams, Stoney?
Yeah, for Michigan State, what I like the most is they're big guys. Number one has been really, really good. I mean, Kohler's been outstanding. And the fact that he's now shooting a pretty good percentage of threes ties into the other thing, that Michigan State, at least right now, shooting some threes. And the one thing they both have in common, both teams, is how deep they are. Michigan plays 9 guys. And what I like about Michigan the most is they have a player of the year candidate who just seems, when they need something to happen, if they haven't really been down very often, maybe just the Maryland game, I think it was the first time they had a deficit of like more than 5 points, he can take over a game. At least it appears right now.
Well, and what you've touched on 2 things there that are basically what I like most. If I think for the Spartans, if you're a Spartan fan, for a team to go from the worst 3-point shooting team in the Big Ten to top half of 3-point shooting in the Big Ten, I think it's 6 percentage points higher from beyond the arc. That helps in every way possible. Like it obviously, you want to make as many 3-pointers as you can, but it opens up so much more when teams have to respect that. So piggybacking off that for the Spartans, for Michigan, what you said about Yaks, I mean, he did it on the defensive end in that game against Maryland. They switched him onto the Coit kid,
the smaller kid,
and he was able to shut him down. He does look like he's an early National Player of the Year candidate. Here's what I don't like, okay, from Michigan. This is a weird thing, but it's almost like I don't like that they're playing this well in December.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, right? It's a long season, and it feels like they are looking very much like a Final Four team. But the goal is not to look this good in December. If they could bottle this up and fast forward to March, but you can't. It just feels like, and it's not that they're peaking too early. It just can be intoxicating how good your team looks early.
You could say the same thing about Michigan State.
You certainly can.
I mean, because they're playing outstanding. They have, a logical loss to Duke that they could have won, but it's a shame that they didn't. And the other thing is, I mean, not to compare, but it's the same thing with the Red Wings. These 2 teams and the Red Wings get me to March.
Yeah.
And that's where everything is going to come, because for the basketball teams, it's the March Madness, and the Red Wings, we've seen the last 2 seasons, it's March Sadness. So if we can avoid March Sadness and have a good March Madness, who the hell knows how great March would be.
Yeah. Now, 248-539-9797. Love to hear from Wolverine and Spartan fans via text or phone calls. What do you, at this point, like the most about your team? And what do you like? What worries you about your team? We'll get to your phone calls and feedback on that. Got some line stuff we'll get to a little bit later on, including predictions for this weekend. Somebody sat down, made some predictions for this weekend. What the race will look like if these predictions come through. We will get to that today at 11:31 here on Karsch and Anderson. If you want to talk basketball, Pistons variety, we talked a lot of Pistons yesterday when Noah Eagle at the end of the Peacock broadcast said the Detroit Pistons are all the way back. All the way back. What does that mean to you? And do you think that they are indeed? That is a correct description of where the Pistons are. It's Karsch and Anderson with Stoney in. Get to some basketball feedback and phone calls next here on 97.1.